Pretty people, pretty life, pretty deuces. Hey, this is your favorite girl, Millie in the city, with my beautiful co-host,
J.V. Jones here.
J.V. Jones. And welcome to our talk radio show, guys, Connect the City. On this show, we're going to cover the entire gamut. Politics, entertainment, relationships, okay? Celebrity and trending news and current events. And we're all going to connect it to the city. So let's jump right in. Guys, today we have a very, very special episode. Mine is off. Where was it? Okay, great. Very special episode, guys. We're going to be talking about the Florida. I never say it right, JV. The Florida.
That's
Lord,
how they probably say it.
Okay, so thank you, JV, for letting me off the hook. I appreciate it. I'm bringing all my special guests in now. If you have any radio, anything in the background, TV, please turn it down as we do get an echo. Today we are talking about, again, the Florida school shooting. I want to first introduce our special guest. And again, turn your radios down. We're getting a lot of background noise, guys. Or you can put yourself on mute also until you are spoken to. That didn't sound right, but y'all gonna know what I mean. Our first special guest, we have one. We have a couple that's supposed to be calling in also. Our special guest, Rob Anthony. We're so excited to have him on the show. He is the education lead progressive for Prince George's County and candidate for the Board of Education for Prince George's County Public Schools District 2, guys. District 2, that's College Park, Greenbelt, and New Carrolton. Let's welcome Rob Anthony to the show. Rob Anthony, how are you, sir?
How are you, sir?
Okay.
He probably has himself muted.
He probably has himself muted. Like we asked.
He follows
we asked you. So, Rob Anthony, we'll wait for you to come on. We know you're on here. I do want to get my interactive callers in here this evening, but you probably will be muted because we want to just get everything out first. But with the last four digits of 7147, you want to connect the city? May we have your name? Does nobody hear us? I hear people typing. Last four digits, 7147. Can we have your name?
That's me, Millie. Sorry, I'm multitasking. It's Roz.
Hey, Roz. How are you?
Hey, Roz.
I'm fine. How y'all doing?
So
we are absolutely wonderful. I got it right. Okay. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So we also have a caller. It's at last four digits, 5516 caller. You on with Connect the City?
Good evening, Millie and JD. This is Ed.
Good evening.
How are you?
Thanks for calling in, Ed. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Excellent. So we want to turn down any background noise. We do have Rob Anthony in. I do have everybody not on mute. But I want to get through this one thing together. We felt very strongly, very strongly that we need to start this show off with a prayer. So we'll have someone lead us in prayer. We just want to take a couple minutes to do that. And JV and I are going to bow our heads and we're ready for our prayer now. Thank you.
Father God, in the mighty name of your Son, Jesus. We come to you as humbly as we know how, asking you, Lord God, to take control over this world. Lord God, we're praying for the families all over this world in regards to the gun violence. Lord God, we're praying for the families in Florida. We're praying for the families that have lost their children to gun violence. Lord God, we ask you to come on in. Lord God, speak to the leaders of this world. Speak to them and let them know, Lord God, that these guns must stop. The killings must stop of our children. Lord God, I ask all these things, Lord God, in your precious Son, Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. It's my favorite show so far.
So, yeah.
Last four digits, 1899. We thank you so much for that prayer. We appreciate you. Last four digits, 1899. You on with Connect the City. May we have your name?
Hey ladies, how you doing? This is Melvin.
Good evening, Melvin. Thank you for calling in.
Hey ladies, how y'all doing?
We're doing great.
Yeah, we're doing okay.
We're trying to make a difference. That's what we're trying to do.
Okay, so aren't we? Yes, we are.
Yeah.
We want to thank the person that said the prayer for us. We are on Facebook Live, JV. We have a lot of people. We have, and put yourselves on mute, or I can do it for you. Put yourselves on mute. We have a lot of people on Facebook Live. We encourage you guys to call in 929-477-3886. We're going to start off with what we know, but we know there were more developing. We know there were more developing stories, even up to today, that we may not know about. So call in 929 again 477-3886. We are waiting for Rob Anthony. He'll be giving us great insight to the second part of the show. Last Wednesday, a gunman began shooting outside Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, just before dismissal. So I'm kind of trying to let you guys know what happened and where. The gunman arrived at the school at 2:19 p.m. local time. At least 17 dead in this Parkland school shooting. At least 2 people were killed outside the building, and 1 person was killed in the street. The fire alarm went off inside the school. The gunman entered one of the school buildings where, according to police, he continued his shooting rampage with a semi-automatic AR-15 rifle.
So then he eventually fled the scene. The suspected gunman was later taken into custody in a neighboring town. The shooting took place in the town of Parkland, which is about an hour drive from Miami in southeast Florida. Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School is a public school with about 3,000 students. And I don't know if everyone has gotten a chance to see that school, but it is
humongous.
Yes, it's enormous.
So we have a lot to discuss this evening, so we're going to keep it on topic. Usually I know we veer off because, guys, we're having fun, and this is not fun at all. And so we want to keep it on topic. Has everybody on the line? I know that a lot of people, Roz, Melvin, and someone else, and then Ed Farley. Did you hear what happened? And are those are the facts? We'll start with Roz. Are those are the facts so far as you know them? Roz?
Hello?
Yes. We're listening.
So, in reference to the Florida shooting, it baffles me how we have these mass shootings and how sporadic they are and when they occur. I look at them, my heart goes out to people, but then I always am very questionable. We know the enemy is being the prince of the air. I always look at things to see how much of the story is true and how much is it is false.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you guys have noticed today that one of the high school students or supposed student was also shown on camera in California back in August, where he was supposed to be a student there as well when they had a massacre. And they're referring to him as a crisis actor. And what I fear is that what we don't realize as a people is that they are the media themselves are feeding on our emotions. We're driven by emotion out here in the world today. So what do? We get very emotional. The very first thing we want to do is we're going to pray, we're going to send our prayers. The next thing they do is they start to ask for our funds, our money. They never attack the real issue at hand. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing that when we're looking for cures for diseases and things of that nature, they are reacting to how we react to crisis. It's to cause and stir outrage and uproar. Mm-hmm. We want gun control, and that's the very thing they want to put as a topic of issue. Well, what about gun control do we want? Are we always going to look to our government to police us? Mm-hmm.
Okay. We want to bring in, thank you so much.
Thank you for that.
That was great. We want to bring in 2 callers. The last 4 digits of 7511, calling you on with Connect the City.
Hi, this is Michelle. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Michelle. How are you?
I'm fine.
Also, we want to bring in a caller with the last 4 digits of 4814. Are you on with Connect the City? May we have your name? And that is okay. We don't mind at all if you want to be silent. Again, we want to thank Roz. Melvin, we always love what you have to say.
Yes.
I heard a little bit of background noise, and that's okay. We stated the facts of when and where the shooting happened. Are those the facts that you know so far about where and when and how many kids and things of that nature, as far as how many kids were in the school? What was your reaction to the first news of the school shooting?
My first reaction, I posted it on, I posted it on Facebook, and it was more of a rant than it was.
Oh yeah, I heard about
it. It was, and I kind of went in a little deep, because that's just the way that I felt, and I think everybody's entitled to feel however they want to feel about the mass shooting. But I think that there's been so many this year and last year that I'm literally have become numb to it because it's constantly happening. It's constantly happening over and over and over again. You kind of become numb to it.
Right.
So it's almost, and I understand how those people live in foreign countries. And, bombings go on and they become numb to it because it becomes a part of their everyday life.
Yes.
Right.
And we have those, that's pretty much where I'm at. And my prayers go out to each of those families. My prayers even go out to the guy who did it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And, I hope that he's able to find and help. And I hope those families are able to forgive them so they're able to move on with their lives.
Thank you so
and they're
much.
not paralyzed. But that's pretty much all I can say about it. And the gun laws we have so many gun laws now that it doesn't affect the criminals, and it doesn't affect the people who are sick in their heads. It just affects those people who law abiding citizens. It doesn't affect anybody else.
Right.
So we have enough laws on the books already. But that's my take on it.
Right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank
We do have a caller, 4814, last 4 digits. You're on with Connect the City. May we have your name?
This is Rob Anthony.
Rob Anthony, how are you, sir?
Good evening, Mr. Anthony.
I'm good.
We were waiting for Rob Anthony to get in. I wanted to introduce him as our special guest. Want everyone to say hello. Rob Anthony is the Education Lead Progressive for Prince George's County and candidate for the Board of Education for Prince George's County Public Schools, District 2, everybody, College Park, Greenbelt, and New Carrolton. Welcome, Rob Anthony, to the show.
Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. We really appreciate it.
No problem.
Excellent. We do want to hear from Ed Farley. What were your initial thoughts, Ed? And then we'll go into some other parts. We have a great show. We want everybody to call in, even on Facebook Live on 929-477-3886. What did you think about what happened when you first saw it? What was your initial reaction, Mr. Farley?
My initial reaction was they got what they asked for. And I'm not saying that in a harsh way.
Did you just say they got what they asked for?
Right, they're getting what they're asking for.
Okay.
Because, I know we're talking about, everybody's saying, gun control, what is that going to do? You're allowing, in a lot of states, an 18-year-old, just because they're 18 and we say, okay, you're 18, in some cases you're an adult, but in some cases you're still a child. You're allowing an 18-year-old to purchase basically an assault weapon, a military weapon, to do as their free will. And when you're not putting things in place to screen folks to say, okay, this is, this 18-year-old may not be able to handle this gun or whatever the case may be. But we're allowing it to happen. So as long as they continue to do that, oh, well, it's too soon to talk about it, you're getting what you want. You're getting what you're asking for the next shooting to happen. And until they put something in place, and again, I have to say this to the folks that say, well, what's that going to do? It's going to be, my constitutional right. We're not trying to take guns out of your hands. That's not what's being said. We're not saying, oh, give up all your guns. We're saying make it harder to get one. To me, personally, I don't understand why a person needs to own 30 to 40 guns. Unless you're in the military or unless you're going out to do something, what is the purpose of owning that many guns?
I mean, you can only shoot one at a time.
I have to resort back to the show that you all did last year.
Yes.
With the gentleman on the line, and he was talking about, oh, well, you can shoot. What do you say, moose?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
There's no moose in D.C.
Yes.
Sorry, but there's no moose in Florida.
Yes.
There are no moose in Florida. So what does an 18-year-old need with an AK-15 or AR-15?
AR-15.
That is a military.
Yes.
That is a weapon designed to kill.
To kill.
Bottom line. So you can argue the fact guns don't kill, but it's a weapon designed to kill.
Okay.
And when they say, well, if you do this to the average person that wants to buy guns, then the criminals are going to have the gun. Well, newsflash: the moment you use that gun for its purpose to harm someone, you now become the criminal. So it's not taking guns out of the criminal's hands. It's making sure that people don't become criminals.
I love that.
I'm actually a lot upset about it because it kind of hits home. And I know that this is not as devastating as what happened in Florida, but just a month ago, there was a stabbing at my daughter's school here in Central.
Oh, I saw that on Facebook. I remember that. JV, I remember that.
Anything can happen. So yes, it does hit home because what's going to happen next? And these people got to wake up and understand. You need to, attack these congressmen because they're getting paid to promote buying weapons, doing this. Oh, and they use the Constitution, their Second Amendment right, as their scapegoat. I'm sorry, but it needs to change.
All right.
That's true.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's true.
So Michelle, do you?
Is that her? A lot of laws that we've had now need to be changed to conform to today's society because a lot of them now are outdated.
Mm-hmm.
I totally agree with that. We need to change them. A lot of them need to be changed. They changed them when they made them, so.
Yes. So Michelle, do you have something that you would like to say about the shooting in Florida?
Oh, she just was like, deep sigh.
I don't know, because it's so much and it's so sad. I mean, my heart goes out to all the families, and even like you said, even the guy who did the shooting. So what kind of disturbed me this morning was I was watching CBS News with Gayle King, and they had the parents, the people who took this guy in.
Yes.
And this man seemed like, he just seemed so nonchalant.
He did. Right? He was like, oh, okay, great. Let me go get some french fries.
And he said he had the key, but he don't understand how he got in it.
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to hear from Rob Anthony. We'll take a break, and we're going to talk about Nicholas Cruz, who was the school shooter. I just refused to give him any publicity or press, I didn't do none of that. I did everything else but that, but we will talk about him. We want to go to our special guest, Rob Anthony. We do have a lot of people on the line. Rob, what were your thoughts?
First, as soon as these things happen, we have a Republican Congress and you have a Republican president. A lot of them are funded by the NRA. And the NRA is not really representative of gun owners. It's really just the gun manufacturers.
Yes.
So, of course, they don't want to see a assault weapons ban or gun control because that's going to hurt their profits.
Mm-hmm.
But they are in the pocket of all these politicians.
Mm.
Right. So,
for yourself.
Right, and so it's probably an accident. We lost Rob Anthony. We'll get him back in a second. We also want to acknowledge, I personally want to acknowledge Rosalind Ray, who is a lawyer. We love her. Ross, thank you so much for calling in.
Very knowledgeable about a lot of things that's going on with our laws. So
Thank
we
you
appreciate
so much.
that.
We're going to take a quick break, guys, and we'll be back in 30 seconds, guys. You are on with Connect the City.
Thank you guys. Call in 477-3886.
Call in, guys, 477-3886.
The Florida killings, the kids. Guys, you know, we feel a certain kind of way about the killings, but when it affects our kids, you know, we're like, okay, come on now. Children can't go to school? That's a problem. How people going to go to work? We're going to have to take the kids to work with us. They're going to be sitting up, guys, in the lunchroom. Tell your boss that the kids are getting ready to sit up in the lunchroom and wait for us, and we're just going to not homeschool them, we're going to work school them, because we're going to be schooling them while we're at work. Matter of fact, they're just going to get a chair and sit up at your desk and work right along with you. Because I even saw the students from that school saying they're not going back. He's like,
why would you?
The guy said, I can't go back. I can't go back there. I just can't go back. And it just broke my heart. Really, really broke my heart. So, guys, we know that there's a lot of things going on in the country. Anything that you want to share with us, we would love for you to call in 929-477-3886. Let us know some of the things that you've experienced.
Guys, call in 929. Thank you.
Some things like the
I know, all right?
stabbing.
929-477-3886. Thank you so much for that. You
Something
ready?
like that you might want to share. So many of us are going through a lot, and we just want to give y'all guys a platform to be heard. Just got the politicians on, people that want to hear what you got to say.
Ready?
Unmuted.
Welcome back, everyone. You are on with Connect the City. I am Millie in the City, your hostess with the mostness.
And I'm J.V. Jones.
I didn't even say it all nice now. I'm just so upset.
J.V. Jones.
I'm so upset. And so we said when we came back from the break that we would speak about the gentleman who did the shooting. Guys, his name is Nicholas Cruz. Nicholas Cruz, 19-year-old, is being charged with 17 counts of premeditated murder on Thursday morning. According to the police documents, he admitted to the shooting. Cruz was known to be quiet, quirky outcast who was expelled from multiple schools and may have been involved with the Republic of Florida, a white supremacist group. Let me just pause. Is it bad for me to say that if he was not of Caucasian descent, he would not be described as quiet and quirky outcast? I'm just saying, I'll keep it okay. A lot of people were saying that it would be him. One of the students said if someone did a mass shooting, it would be him. He has a reputation in high school from which he was expelled last year. And they said he would be the one to shoot up the school, and everyone predicted it. Cruz and his younger brother Zachary were adopted by an older couple when Cruz was just a baby. His adoptive father died more than a decade ago, but his adopted mother, which seems to be the cause of everything, Linda Cruz, died of pneumonia this past November. According to Cruz's attorney, Jim Lewis, a family opened their home to the troubled teen, but knew he had a gun. The police were called on numerous occasions to deal with Cruz's unruly behavior. He was expelled from Douglas High School last year, allegedly for bringing knives to school. Anyway, friends have said he was known to always be mentally ill and would kill animals. He got kicked out of 2 private schools and was held back twice. He had aspirations to join the military because he enjoyed hunting.
Wow. So his online profiles hinted at disturbing thoughts and behaviors. His Instagram page contained some disturbing images, including a photo of a shotgun, one in which he brandishes what appears to be a BB gun, and several of himself brandishing long knives while covering his face with a red, white, and blue bandana. A YouTube account believed to be associated with him was also flagged for making troubling comments on various video posts in the past. The FBI was aware of Cruz and confirmed that it had responded to his online behavior months ago. At least 17 people were killed, including 14 students and 3 adults who worked at the school. 3 people were killed outside the school, while 12 were shot dead inside one of the buildings. 2 died from their injuries at the hospital. The school's American football coach and athletic director are among the dead. At least 15 others were injured. 5 are suffering from life-threatening injuries, the police said.
You know what, that coach, JV, and we're gonna, I'm gonna go straight to Rob Anthony and then Roz, and then we'll talk with everyone else. I just bravo to the coach because he prevented a lot of deaths. I kind of thought he would make it until JV told me he didn't, which just broke my heart. Rob Anthony, the facts that we just gave you and gave what we know thus far about this boy, this savage boy, disturbed savage boy, because we would be called savage. Rob, what are your thoughts?
He's disturbed.
One, after all those red flags, after all those suspensions, after all those disturbing things that he said online, after someone, I think he commented on somebody's video or something that he wanted to be a professional.
Yes, he did.
Shooter.
Yes.
Yes, he did.
After all of that, kid's got a record that long. How does he go out and buy 10 weapons?
Yes.
How did he get an AR-15?
And that not raise flags.
Yep.
Well, the FBI was out at his house. They were not out at his house. I think they were watching him, but I guess they can't watch everybody. Roz, your thoughts? She must have us on mute.
Wait, you talking to me?
Roz, she's our lawyer.
Which Roz? You got 2, Millie.
Oh, we do? Okay.
We do?
Attorney Rosalind Ray.
Maybe she got off.
Okay.
All right, so let's start with, let's start with you, Roz. It's 2 Rozes. So what are your thoughts on what when we gave you a lot, we couldn't leave anything out, right? So we had to read it to you like we did.
Right.
What are your thoughts?
You know, it's all over the place. I mean, I had so many questions. There's so many questions that are unanswered about this. To me, it's just, when I look at it, it just looks so scripted. I'm looking at these people and everything just looks so scripted to me. And then I'm like, okay, why are all these mass shootings in suburbia? Why is nobody addressing the fact that this young man, okay, you want to point out his mental illnesses, but mental illness is real everywhere. Mm-hmm. It's real everywhere. It doesn't mean that somebody that has mental illness wants to go off and shoot up their fellow classmates. Usually, the mind of someone who has a mental illness usually is to first harm themselves before they harm others. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, there have been questions as to why the schools don't have metal detectors. Nobody saw him carrying this huge rifle, this assault rifle, into the school at no point before he just started to assassinate everyone.
Mm-hmm. And you know, the interesting part too, and I'm going to bring in a caller with the last 4 digits of 8802. You're on with Connect the City. May we have your name, please?
Hi, it's Janique. How are you?
Hi, Janique.
Mackle.
Thank you for
Janique
calling in. Yeah.
Hi, beautiful.
I just want to say, I don't know if this isn't the case everywhere, because it may not be, but most of the schools have locks on them. Like, you have to come and sign in, and you just can't come into school and roam around. I mean, maybe that's just in our neighborhoods. I don't mean to laugh.
I didn't want to say it like
but
that.
I'm just saying.
You
just can't walk
You can't get in.
Yeah,
we got police officers in our school.
Even when I'm supposed to be going in there, I'm banging and knock. Like, can I get in? Like, I just don't understand.
Well, my kids, my son went to Wise don't get me started on that school. However, Prince George's County Police are front and center. I know the guy, I've seen the guy, and then you've got security guards there.
Yes.
And you just can't get but so
Yeah,
far.
yeah.
And you've got an AR-15. I'm not exactly sure what that is. I've seen
did
it
it come in with a big
and
suitcase?
nobody saw him. It's
like,
always somebody in the hallways. What the?
I mean, how do you? Okay.
Who else do we have? We have Melvin.
Can I ask a question though? Because I believe that he took an Uber to the school.
No.
Oh wow.
No, he didn't take an Uber. No, he did not take an Uber. Did he take an Uber, JV?
Driver, I
Hey.
believe he got dropped off by an Uber.
Yeah.
And nobody saw the
It
gun in
was in a suitcase, big old suitcase. I don't know.
Where was he going? All right, Melvin, what?
Yes,
Hashtag.
I got a question that nobody. I got a question that nobody seems to ask.
Of course.
And nobody has seen.
We love it.
Nobody has seemed to have brought up. Why did the police quietly take him into custody?
I asked the same question.
I posted this on my
Yep.
Facebook page. When they went to get this boy, he had already killed 17 people.
Amen.
And they allowed him, and I'll use this word, and it may be, they let him have the dignity of having his day in court. When the average black man who gets stopped and gunned down by a policeman and who hasn't even committed a crime doesn't get his day in court. But they handcuff him and they let him have his day in court. I don't understand.
Can I ask a question to you? His household made, was it 20 to 30 calls to the police department? And not one time was he arrested for anything? If that had been one of our children's calls, something would have happened between him and the police officer in order for him to get an arrest. It would have been on his record. So he would not have been able to make 30 phone calls to the police department without our child going with them. And if our child was being assessed for mental issues, they would have gotten medication. They would have gotten, apparently he was diagnosed with autism. Is that it?
No, I thought he had mental illness. He was bipolar. I just know, let me just say this to you. You have a new caller on the line. Caller with the last 4 digits of 8434. You're on with Connect the City. May we have your name?
Daryl.
Hi, Daryl. How are you, sir?
Good evening, sir.
Hi, Darren.
I just want to say that I just know, I'm not going to put JV in it because I know JV wouldn't do this, but I just know that right now, I already know she's not going to ride or die for me at all. If I know right now, if I call and I'm going to kill everybody or put it on my Snap, Instagram or whatever, I'm killing all police, I'm doing all kinds of things, watch me, I'm on the way.